at work.
Yeah.
And I had to stay late at work because I needed like some software installed, and I couldn't do it. I don't have permission, so we had to get IT. So I stayed an hour longer than I usually stay to try and get this thing installed, and it was just loading for the whole hour. And I'm like, because like the IT guy remote desktoped in or whatever, so he was just controlling my desktop. So I just opened like a notepad and I was like, how long is this gonna take? I want to go home. And he typed back, he's like, we could try again tomorrow. And I'm like, thank you. I rush out of there. My car is like one of 5 cars left in the parking lot for this like 3-story office building.
Mm-hmm. Trust me, dude, my office is like probably like the parking garage next to it is like 5 floors.
Yeah.
Or one day I got out of the office because I had stayed later. It was like 5:45, 6 o'clock, and there was like nobody there. I was like,
it just feels the worst, bro. And then
like, I'm gonna go into the office tomorrow.
I go into traffic, man, and all these people, they're driving so much. There's so much many of those fucking cretins that I normally never have to interact with on the road.
Oh my god, I know. They're so dumb.
So dumb and stupid and wrong and bad.
Yeah.
And other negative adjectives that I could look up in a thesaurus.
Yeah, like unsmart.
And unattainable.
We cannot attain them.
Flashback to 2010 or 11. I feel like I don't know if this was a PBS thing or not. So actually,
I watch PBS.
You're not the right person to ask this because I don't remember if it was on cable or not on cable. But I think it was on PBS. There was a show or a movie. I don't remember because I didn't have a fully formed brain yet. But there was a thing on the television that I saw with my eyes, and it was called
some sort of program.
It was called like The Show. And it was like, I
don't know, man.
It was like this girl, and she had like a Cinnabon kind of restaurant, but it was in the woods, and she sold unbuns because obviously at Cinnabon they sell buns, but at the unbun store they sold unbuns, which was it's like a bun but it's the negative version of a bun. You get what I'm trying to put down here? Are you following? This is a show that exists, I think.
I have no idea.
I don't. Does anyone remember this? There was a show where the whole premise of the show or the movie was just that everything is something. So they would have like shoes, and it was like shoes that you would wear with your feet, but it was
They're
shoes.
So you like wear them on your hands or some shit.
Yeah. Was I born in hell? I don't.
Dude, I've looked up every single combination of the words that you just told me, and I couldn't find anything.
I swear to God, I'm not lying about this.
I believe you. I'm sure that
in my mind,
exists.
it pops up in my dreams sometimes. In my mind, there is a Cinnabon in the woods, and it was filmed in 2010, and it sold unbuns.
All right. Maybe it's real, dude. Who knows?
Me.
I do believe you.
I know, but I don't think the people will believe me.
Okay.
I don't think the people are on my side for this one.
He's telling the truth.
What? Okay.
All right. I think, I don't know, that sounds like something feasible or a dream that a child would have, and then also maybe you're making it all up. So that could also be true. But,
yeah. I mean,
We'll find out.
Was there like a recurring nightmare that you had?
I always had this nightmare that I was in, funnily enough,
the unbun store.
No. I was in a courtroom, and there was a woman. Let's rewind a little bit.
Okay.
I'm in a library, and I'm like running through the library. It's very, very scary because the bookshelves are really tall.
Yeah, and there's the
like
big slimy slug library person from Monsters University.
Well, sort of. Maybe not slimy, but there is a big library person, and I would describe them as maybe like more like one of those, like the monsters from Little Nightmares.
Okay.
with like all
Yeah.
the freaky like skin.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
they're
yeah.
like, you know, not like necessarily fat, but like kind of like disformed human figure face, right?
It's like the void creatures from Hollow Knight.
Yeah.
And they have like big
Kind of,
claws and
yes.
stuff.
Yeah. And so there were, well, so totally normal human appearance other than the face, which looks like a creepy like monster person.
Yeah.
So I'm in the library and then I escape. I manage to escape. And then obviously me as like a 7 or 8 year old has to go to jury duty because why not?
Of course you do.
I know what that is for some reason at that age.
Well, there's
Um,
duty to be done, and jury called.
Right. And they did, and they needed me.
And you
they
just have
needed
to go for that.
7-year-old Henry. They needed him. He was of
There
the
was no
utmost
one
importance
else.
that he was there. No. So I go, right, of course, because I'm not gonna skip. That's like
No.
a crime, I think.
That is
and
a
so
crime.
I go and I'm sitting in the jury and they're interviewing this woman or interviewing. They're accusing her of something. And then she pulls off her human face and it's the scary monster from the library and then she jumps at me and then I wake up.
Yeah.
This dream has happened to me 4 or 5 times.
And over like what time span? Like, did they all happen when you were like 6 or whatever?
I'd say like 3 of them happened when I was 7 and most recently at probably like 16.
That's crazy.
I remember it very vividly for the first few times because one time it happened while we were staying. It was like me and this was when my parents were still together. So, you know, forever ago.
Yeah.
We were in my
Your dream
grandma's
predicted
house.
your parents' divorce.
It did. I was like the courtroom.
The reason.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah.
That of all my siblings, dude, were you kidding me? I'm so funny. There's no way it would have been me.
But
It
you're
could have
the
been, you never know.
oldest.
Yeah, I know. So why
So
would it be me?
You were the most capable of becoming a problem.
No. It's always you have the last child to save the marriage and then it doesn't work, baby.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, you were the catalyst of it all.
Technically speaking, you're not wrong.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You
I'm going to
were
think
like-
about that one tonight for sure.
You were like the Mentos in the Pepsi Cola
Yeah.
that set off the chain of events that led to your parents going to court as monster people.
Right. True. But yeah, so I remember it very vividly because I remember one time I got so scared because we were on vacation and I like went to my parents' room. And it's like all the memes where you're like, Mom, I threw up.
Yeah.
But instead of me throwing up, it was, you know, Mom, I had a nightmare. And so that was the nightmare.
I used to have this dream where the dream was, it was confusing because it wasn't a dream, but it was. I was like, it was a dream, but I was in my bed in my room and everything looked completely normal, but I was dreaming.
Interesting.
And I know I was dreaming because I leaned up because I was like, oh, I'm awake. This is weird. And then there was this stapler that came chomping at me like Pac-Man.
And you were a Tic Tac.
And I was the power pellet that gave it invincibility and allowed it to eat ghosts.
Mm. That's like all right. That's cool.
So, I mean, I hope it ate all it
You empowered
wanted
him.
to. You know, I hope he's not hungry.
I hope so too. Look at you being such a nice guy, giving back to those, even though they hurt you.
I quite literally gave my life for Pac-Man.
In that case, yes, you did.
Yeah. Hey everyone, welcome back to the show. We've got an agenda. Is that the word we decided on?
Yeah, that's fine. We said agenda.
We've got an agenda today. Some of you might have seen, okay, very recently there was a presidential air quotes debate, okay?
Was the air quotes around presidential or debate?
Well, I said air quote after president.
Yeah.
It's an air quotes debate. It wasn't exactly a debate, obviously. Problem one with the debate, CNN, you know they're not here for the average American, you know, to
They just
gain
don't know how
some
it
kind
is,
of
you know?
information. They don't get it, okay?
They think that eggs cost $25 and that's a normal price.
You know what else is a 3-letter acronym? The WWE, which is rigged. All organizations that have 3-letter acronyms rig the things that they do.
That's true. Think about the homeowners association. Those guys fucking suck. Name one HOA that you like.
And think about
My question's been answered.
Think about the EPA too.
Yeah, they suck.
Yeah, they rigged something. I don't know what. You could figure that one out.
Yeah,
that's for the
probably not.
Actually, we can't talk about it. Okay, that's for the underground channels.
Right.
Okay, we'll get stricken down by our sponsors. We'll get silenced. Our free
Thank
speech
you, Raid
gone.
Shadow Legends.
Because unfortunately, we haven't migrated over to X, the Everything app yet, so we don't have freedom of speech.
Right.
But we will
Thank you,
one day. So we
X,
hope
the
you follow
Everything
us there when we do go over to X and we start interviewing Grok and stuff like that.
Yep, I can't wait for that to happen. Grok is kind of goated though.
Anyway, there was a debate. It was very bad. Okay, I think one of the obviously we talked about it a little bit with Zach on the last episode. But neither of the presidential candidates were quite up to snuff exactly. And I think anyone could come to that conclusion if you saw 2 seconds of it.
Yeah.
So we're here. We're tackling the topics that they don't want us to talk about. Okay.
Right. They can't silence us.
Joe Biden, he wants to talk about abortion. Okay. Donald Trump, he wants to talk about Pizzagate or whatever.
What?
He wants to talk about, what does he want to talk about? He wants to talk about golf and shit like that.
He does really want to talk about golf.
Okay, they don't want to talk about the topics that real Americans face every day.
Yeah.
They don't want to talk about the topics that affect our lives the hardest, okay? So that's what we're doing today. We're going through the biggest topics. Henry's suited up, audio listeners.
Check me out.
He's got a tie and a suit and not a pocket square. So feels like you kind of
sorry.
You know, maybe just
I haven't even like I've had this suit for 3 years and I still haven't unsewed the pocket open. So if that tells you anything about me.
That is actually, yeah. You should do that probably.
Yeah.
You also didn't have to say that on the...
I'm an honest man, okay, dude?
And you know what? That's what we need in this debate.
We do, yeah.
Okay.
I tell the truth. What can I, there's nothing more to it than that.
I have only ever told the truth. Everyone knows that.
That's true. I know this about you. I've known you a long time.
Okay, but look, this is the agenda for today. We're going through topics that America needs to hear about, okay? Because there's a lot of difficult problems that we're going through as a country, okay? Global warming, the opioid crisis. What was that for?
I don't know if it's a crisis. I mean, opioids are pretty cool.
It's a crisis for some, for many, in fact.
It's definitely a crisis.
For a lot of people who come into contact with them. Opioids, they kind of say it's the new gold rush.
They do?
If you work in insurance or something, I don't know.
That's so evil.
You know? But let's just jump right into it, okay?
Let's do it.
Let's just jump right into it.
Let's jump right in.
We're jumping right in. Our first big topic, obviously, America has a lot of things to think about right now. But one of the most important things, I think, that we need to consider going into this 2024 presidential race, okay? One of the things I would love to see Joe Biden, Donald Trump talk about, acknowledge a little bit, what's more important to America as a whole? Hot dogs or hamburgers? It's difficult. It's really
both
difficult.
American staples, really. I mean, when you think about so imagine summer, the season that we were just hating on.
We're in summer
10
right
minutes
now.
ago. We're in it right now. And I mean, it might be a little hot, but that's global warming's fault.
Right.
That's not summer's fault. Summer is cool. Summer's got some good times, some good memories. Think about 4th of July. Celebrating our great
National
American country.
Hot Dog Day, as it is known. Except there's another day for that, though, also.
I think there is. I mean, also, if there were to be like a national American food, it would be the hamburger.
You think so?
Oh, yeah.
Why do you think that, Henry? Because I would be keen to disagree with you.
Oh, would you now?
I think America we need to get back to the hot dog. In many ways, the liberal left, they've taken us towards the hamburger. They've taken us away from the hot dog. The hot dog is
Right.
so... Think about our history, Henry. Okay?
Okay.
1776. Do you know what happened that year?
I mean, a lot of things, but what are you talking about specifically in the context of hot dogs?
A lot of hot dogs were eaten that year. I don't know why, but it happened. And it's important to recognize and foster that culture that we built. Okay?
Sure, man.
What is
Did you know?
Question, what is the most American sport? Answer in one word, but if you can't, you can do it in 2 words. That's okay.
Okay, I could answer in 1 word, but I'm actually answering 2 instead, just because I can.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to go with foot space ball.
That'd be incorrect, okay? Football.
Can I get another guess?
Yeah, you can take another guess.
Can I guess base space ball?
You don't have to say space. It's not in space. It's baseball.
I'm implying that there's a space
the answer is
there.
baseball. I was going for baseball. Okay.
Okay.
Baseball, a national American pastime for many Americans who wish to pass time. Every time you go
true.
to the baseball rink, which is what they call it, what do you get there to eat?
A home run.
You get a hot dog. No, not a home. You don't eat a home run.
I was
get a
close,
hot
though.
dog.
Come on, I was
okay?
kind of close.
No, that was not close at all.
All right, sure.
A home
whatever.
run is like an idea, and a hot dog is everything.
Yeah, sure, man. All right, keep going. Come on.
Okay, the hot
What's
dog.
so great about the hot dog?
A staple of baseball, the most American thing of all. It's a symbol of our competition. It's a symbol of our creativity. It's a food that everyone, including kids and families, love. It's a food that brings us together. It symbolizes America. No other country in the world has hot dogs. This is true. You could look it up. Okay, and I think we need to preserve that culture because the American left has taken us away from hot dogs
Sure.
into a dirty, awful, greasy hamburger territory.
Well, let me offer you something. First of all, Jackson,
Offer me something.
What do they call soccer in foreign countries? We'll say Europe.
Bitch made is what I call it.
But what if
I'll tell
they
you
call
that?
If you were from England and your favorite sport is what the Americans call soccer, what would you call it?
I'd call it football.
Football. Right. And
As
so what
Messi
would you
does.
call what we Americans call football?
I would call it slugging around the pigskin. I'd call it a Thanksgiving pastime.
I can't knock you for that answer because it was excellent. However, that's not the answer I was looking for. You were looking for American football.
I was
Just
looking for
American
football.
American football.
Let me ask you this: is an American football? Why is it American? Because we had to put the word America in front of it.
Well, because
Come on.
America popularized football, American football. Because normal football is soccer.
No.
Anyway, I was going to argue with you about how football is the American pastime sport, but then I realized that
That's
burgers
not-
aren't actually associated with football, so it doesn't matter. So
No,
I'm gonna go back
not
on
at
what I
all.
just said. Right, exactly. But the hamburger was popularized in America. And sure, people think that it's named after Hamburg, Germany, but that's actually not true. Just so you know.
Okay.
Yeah. Get fucking dunked on.
Well, then
Yep.
then riddle me this, Batman.
Mhm.
What about in that one Christmas movie that I'm forgetting the name of? What about the Hamburger Burger Meister Burger of Hamburg? What
Well,
was
first of
he
all, he's
all
not
about?
from Hamburg.
You're
he's an
telling me
evil man.
he didn't make the hamburger.
Well, no, he didn't. The hamburger was invented in Hamburg, but not the Hamburg that we all know
That we all know
as
and love
Germany.
today.
Hamburg, Germany.
Well, I hate it actually.
Okay. Hamburger was invented in Hamburg, New York, which is another one of those classic American pastimes that we have, such as naming our American cities after other more popular cities that already exist in other places.
Right, like Syria
Rome, Ohio. Or Athens, Ohio.
or
both
East
of which are real
Palestine.
places. Or East Palestine, Ohio.
They're
all
all
of these are
they're all in
excellent examples.
Ohio for some reason.
They're all real,
I don't
and
know
they're all
why.
in Ohio. There are a lot of other ones, though, such as Hamburg, New York, and that is where the hamburger was invented. It was invented in America.
Right.
And it was popularized by McDonald's with the Big Mac in the early, 1930s, maybe, we'll say. Not really 100% sure what year it was because I didn't do the research, but,
Of course. What
why
would a
would I?
debate be with research even?
Well, our presidents don't look up research, so I feel like
Of
it's
course, because
unfair
they
that
know
we
everything.
Right, they do.
We
That's
shouldn't
true.
we shouldn't put ourselves above them. Okay, we're not fit to lead the country. We just want to shed some light.
Yeah, I
on
didn't
what's
say that
going on.
I'm not running, and neither are you.
No. You may be wearing a suit. You are,
Period.
actually. That's
Period. End of sentence.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think that the hamburger is the American icon, and also, to be fair, I'm going to acknowledge the fact that I have an extreme amount of bias on this subject because I just like hamburgers more than hot dogs. I think, and you know what? You can call me crazy, and you're going to love to hear this because, the media hates when I acknowledge that maybe my opponent can occasionally be right. All right?
Yeah, the
Call me
media would
crazy.
never admit that.
A good a good hot dog is better than a good hamburger,
Whoa.
but it's easier to make a good hamburger than it is to make a good hot dog.
I think I can,
I rest my case.
America, we're all about compromise here, okay? Other
No, we're
countries in the world,
No, we're not.
our Constitution was founded on compromise, believe it or not, okay? When they signed the Constitution, what food do you think they had in the room when they did it?
Did they sign it with a hot dog, Jackson?
I think some of the guys, I think, and this is where I think we'll find some common ground. I think some of the guys in that room, they had hot dogs, and some of the guys had hamburgers.
Yeah.
And they said they said 3/5 of all hot dogs. I don't know. I can't. We probably shouldn't.
For 3 hamburgers,
There
you
were
can have
3
5 hot dogs.
Hamburgers for every 2 hot dogs in the room that the Constitution was signed, and I believe that as an American today.
So that would mean that you think that hamburgers are more popular than hot dogs.
Yeah, but slavery was also more popular than not slavery when the Constitution was signed. Okay? So I'm kind of,
Yes.
I've positioned myself as a kind of Abraham Lincoln figure to the hot dog
Oh, and you
community.
mean that the hot dogs were maybe mistreated and therefore, okay.
That's
all
right. That's right.
Yeah. I think the average hamburger is better than the average hot dog, but the best hot dog is better than the best hamburger.
Here's the thing.
And that's where I will end my case.
Okay. Here's what I'm going to add on to that. I don't think the enjoyment of the food stops at the ham, quite frankly. I think you can go much further than that. What can you put on burger? Cheese.
You can put way more toppings on a burger than you can on a hot dog.
No, but once you get so many toppings on a burger, it starts to fall over, okay? Someone sends a plane into the burger tower, all of a sudden it's looking like 9/11 all over again, okay?
Oh my
It
gosh,
topples
yeah.
over. You put too much stuff on there, you can only have 1 tomato on a burger. If you have 2 tomatoes, it's structurally unsound. You would know that as an architect.
You're lying right now.
No, I'm not. This is factual.
You
Okay.
can put more than 1 tomato on a hamburger.
No, you can't. It ruins the
One?
structural integrity, bro.
Like the whole tomato or like a slice?
a slice, bro.
1 slice.
Well, actually, no. You can only put a whole tomato on your burger.
That's fine. If you put the whole tomato, it would fall over, and I will agree with you there. If you put
I'm changing
one
my argument.
slice-
That's what I meant.
Okay. All right, fine. Then sure, I agree with you.
Okay.
But you would never put a whole tomato on your burger. You would take a slice, and then you would maybe, and that's maybe why the hamburger is so great, because of its versatility. The hot dog with the bun, it just fits in there so well, and it doesn't really leave a lot of room for any,
I
any
digress.
extras.
I digress. Regardless of what the hamburger truthers will say about it, the hot dog community is not going to be silenced in this issue, because what can you put on a hot dog? You can put cheese. You can put relish. You can put other things like
Wow.
like mustard.
It's a very
You can-
extensive list.
You could even put ice cream on there if you want to. I wouldn't advise it. but it can be
But you
done.
could, yeah. No, you
It's
definitely could.
achievable for the American public. Here's the thing about the
Right.
average American. They don't have the means, okay? They don't have the income required to put things on their burger. But the hot dog is
That's
just so
true.
much more affordable.
The hot dog requires less commitment. And less
Exactly.
financial strain on a family.
Which is why I believe we need to sign my proposed hot dog act of 2024 that will provide 2 hot dogs to every living American. Thank you very much. And I guess we'll leave it there. We'll take it.
I think that's good.
We'll give it to the American
compromise.
people to discuss further.
Yes.
I'll see you on X, the Everything app, commentators. Our next topic.
Would you rather be on X, the Everything app, or Threads?
Jesus Christ, get Threads out of here. I'd rather kill myself, respectfully, of course. Our next topic, I think another topic that's dividing America right now that a lot of people, CNN especially, is not talking about.
No, they would never.
We need to first and finally and foremost and for all, we need to decide,
and foremost and finally,
under God, we need to decide which came first, the chicken or the egg.
I hate this question.
Why are you dancing then?
I was just getting down with the beat of forever and for all and always and
Under
under
God.
God. I was getting down
As it
under
always
God,
will
as they
be.
say. I was breaking one down. All right.
But now we need to decide if God created the chicken.
Well, are we debating? Or should I just pick whatever you don't?
Yeah, I think that's kind of the format that we're going for.
All right, fine, whatever. What do you think came first, Jackson?
I don't know. I think it was the chicken, man.
You're such a fucking idiot. It was obviously the egg.
Obviously, the chicken came first, okay? Because when God was molding us out of the mud and clay that he also made, do you think he molded an egg that had like an embryo inside? No, okay?
Yes.
That ability came from the chicken being birthed into the world when God breathed into the hollow clay pot that the chicken was before it was named the chicken. This was in Genesis, I believe.
It was in John.
I've read the Bible.
Oh, have you? Cover to cover.
Obviously, the chicken came first, because otherwise, how would we have breakfast?
Without the chicken, would we even have breakfast?
We
And
wouldn't have breakfast.
A great point, Jackson, because if we had the chicken before the egg, how would we have discovered breakfast in the first place? Because chicken is not really a breakfast food, if you
That's
think
right.
about it.
No, it's not.
I mean, you take a chicken breast or a chicken leg, maybe, and you make wings or fried chicken or, I don't know.
chicken liver.
Chicken liver, sure. Right. Chicken head, chicken feet.
Yeah.
None of those things are eggs. So how did we even find out that eggs existed if they weren't there first? It's the first meal of the day, breakfast. The first meal, the most important meal. And you would think that God would maybe put the most important thing first, which makes sense as to why he would create the egg. And also, if you have an egg and you crack it and you open it onto a pan,
Right.
what comes out? You have the yolk and you have the other part that I don't remember the name of. Obviously, you have the yolk and you have the egg white. What is an egg white called? I don't know.
An egg white.
An egg white.
Yeah.
I feel like an egg white and a yolk and a shell are way simpler in nature and easier to create than, the entire organism that ends up being the chicken.
Mm.
Whereas if you make the egg and you give the egg the power to turn into something greater, since it is so greatest meal of the day, breakfast, then eventually it'll grow into a chicken and hatch.
But wouldn't God be worried that if he made the egg first, that some dumb human would come along and say, "Oh, I'm going to make breakfast now," and no chicken would ever be born?
We're all made perfectly in God's image. So do you think that he's dumb? Like, do you think that?
Yeah. Because he made all that shit he made, and then he was like, Noah, I fucked up. I gotta destroy all this shit and start
I gotta
over."
fuck it all up. Can you go put all the things I made on a big boat, please?
Yeah, I don't want to, it's like when you play The Sims or whatever, and you create this big house, and you have all these people, and then you're like,
Damn,
I want to start
like
a new
anymore.
thing over, but I don't want to have to make money again. You know what I'm
right,
saying?
so you just You just destroy the world that you've created.
Or
Yeah,
it's
no,
like
I
in,
get
in
that.
Terraria when you get like a bunch of good swords and shit, and then you start a
Yeah.
new world. You're like, just give me the guy with all the cool shit. I don't want to have to
Mhm.
like grind for all this again.
Yeah.
Okay, so God is not that stupid. Or no, wait, I
No,
said he was
he's not.
stupid.
You're right. He's not
I
that
don't-
stupid.
God,
That's why he made the egg first.
if he made the egg first, I think someone would have just made breakfast. Because
They
they
did. That's why it's the most important meal of the day.
but
They made it first. It's the first meal.
but
that
if
you
they
eat.
cook the egg, you don't get any chicken. There's no
Well,
chicken.
right, they made enough where they didn't find all of them.
No. They can only make one, I think. This is why I think you make the chicken first so that the chicken can make a bunch of eggs.
Hey, man, I was just trying to come up with an argument for the egg side, okay?
Okay.
This is what the president should say when they're debating it. They don't know what they're talking
This is
about.
what Joe Biden needs to address this. I'm serious. I will not vote for him unless he tells me which came first.
He has to personally tell you.
Yes.
From the POTUS Instagram. He has to DM you on Instagram and say, yeah, it was the chicken, or yeah, it was the egg. Which it was the egg, but
Very
maybe
quickly,
he'll DM you that it was the chicken.
did you see that just today, Joe Biden announced that he's doing like a press conference, completely unannounced. He was like, I'm doing a talk. Who knows what it'll be about?
Does he know?
I'm not sure, but people are speculating that it's going to be him dropping out of the race.
Oh, thank fucking God.
That's what speculation, though. Again, where's this coming from? CNN? I don't know.
Speculation is born
I
out of
didn't do
hope.
my
I hope
research.
that he drops out. Not because I hate him, but because he needs to fucking retire. Can we just get someone else in there, please?
He needs a rocking chair. He
They both
deserves
need to
one.
retire.
Trump needs to be, well, I shouldn't say that.
We can't say that here.
We can't say it.
He should be, but we can't.
Our sponsors would have our heads.
Bang Energy would not be pleased with us.
They'd cut our heads off like chickens, and we'd be running around, not
Right.
able to lay eggs. And what hope
Now,
would the
see-
American people have if that happened?
But if it was made an egg first, you couldn't have your head cut off because, you wouldn't have your head yet. It would still be forming. So it made me think about it that way.
Grok,
You ever
are you
think about it
getting
like
all this?
that?
You writing this shit down?
Did you say Brock?
No, Grok.
Oh. I was like, Brock? Like from Pewter City?
No. We don't talk about Brock.
Yeah.
He's gone.
Well, maybe we can agree to disagree on the chicken and the egg, but
We
I
could-
think they both have an equal
I think
chance
this
of
one's
being
less
first.
decided. It's more philosophical. But
Right.
again, something that obviously we got to focus on in the next 4 years. Something that's very important to our nation's success.
Yeah, America's kind of failing as a philosophical nation. We
Mhm.
need more Sun Tzu.
Which is the most famous American author.
No, I don't mean
of all
him
of them.
necessarily, but like we need our own Sun Tzu.
Oh,
You know?
okay. We need another guy to send a bunch of bombs to the Middle East.
No. That's not what I meant. That's not what I
what
meant.
Sun Tzu did, but with
Okay.
fireworks instead. So it
Yeah, I
looked
was gonna.
cooler.
First of all, they didn't exist. Second of all, that's not what I meant. We just need some sort of philosophical icon who writes some sort of transformative book. I mean, in his case, it's about war, but maybe it could be about peace instead.
Yeah, his name's Jordan
Okay,
Peterson.
you know what?
We have it
Sorry.
already.
Okay. Let's have another MLK. How about that? I think we can all agree that would be great.
Unless they're gonna name another 100 streets after him. I'm never gonna be able to find my way around, dude. Oh, I
Yeah,
live on the
they're gonna be
corner
like,
of MLK and Martin Luther King Jr.
It's like, oh,
Where the
okay.
fuck is that, dude?
That is literally all 700 cities in America,
Right. How am I supposed
which
to?
there are way more than.
How am I
was
supposed to
just
know where
thinking.
you live?
Right.
Do you have an address?
That's it. The corner of MLK and Martin Luther King.
Anyway, another.
All right, Jamie. What's our next question?
Let's move on. Our next one.
He's
we
yapping
have,
too much.
Our next one we have, I think, a very important. Obviously, we're destroying the world. Okay, and we need to be a little bit more conscious of that. We're
Okay.
using up all of the world's resources, and we need to understand what we're gonna do with what we have left. Okay, because at some point we're gonna run out of resources on Earth.
This is true. We will.
We're not gonna know what to do. So we have to decide which is the more important resource. Which should the Americas focus on? Wood or metal? It's difficult. Because
I know what I
we're-
want to pick.
we're destroying all the wood. And we're also mining all the metal. Not a lot of metal left in the earth, in its crust.
Its crust, like a beautiful pizza.
Like a pizza.
Hey, by the way, thank you to our sponsor for
Just
today's video,
cheese in the
Pizza
middle.
Hut.
Pizza Hut. Who would have
Check
our
the
heads
description.
if we said
Waste
that stuff
Management for
about Donald
50%
Trump.
off. They would have our head.
They would.
Check our coupon in the description below. 50% off your next
Pizza Hut
delivery
will
order right
have
now.
our head if you do not order from them. Please.
Yeah, please.
Please.
They
we
will
really
kill
need
us.
this.
I think we should prioritize using wood.
We should use more wood.
Yes.
Okay. Why's that?
Wood is the most advanced material that we have at our disposal right now, or potentially ever.
More than metal? Advanced?
Way more than metal.
What? Let me ask you this. What makes up your computer? Is it wood?
No, it's not wood.
No, it's not wood.
Damn it.
It's metal, quite frankly.
It is metal.
And what's the future?
Okay.
What's the
How about
future,
this?
Henry, of technology?
Metal. It's metal.
No, it's Grok. What is Grok powered on?
Grok's powered on a computer.
He's
Jackson.
powered on computers, which are made out of metal, Henry.
They are.
Our world is a metal world. We have to acknowledge that.
Well, I agree. However, if we prioritize the use of wood, which is infinitely renewable, we can therefore delegate the proper usage of metal when it needs to be used for things such as Grok. If we focus on a metal-only world, we can't make more metal. You can't. Well, maybe we could. I don't know.
What if we made
Don't
a
don't
metal
double-check that.
generator?
You know, I hadn't thought about that one. If we made a metal generator, then we could focus on the production.
If we get a bunch of villagers and we put them
and we trade emeralds to them, they'll give us
we put them in
infinite amounts of
beds
iron.
in the sky forever.
Right,
And
yes.
we make an iron golem.
Yep.
And we circle a zombie in a minecart around the villagers in the beds in the sky.
Yeah.
We can generate infinite iron, infinite
We
metal.
could generate infinite metal. I didn't think about that.
And
yeah.
trees, and by extension wood, takes a long time to grow.
It does. That is true. It
10
does,
years.
unfortunately.
To harvest.
Yes. However, if done correctly, you know, I mean, we've lasted this long, and think about how many people there are on the planet, you know? If we
a lot of people.
prioritize stopping deforestation for no reason, and we plant large sections of trees and time them correctly so that they finish growing like years separately from each other, and then we replant them after we chop them down, I think we're good. Technically speaking, if you do it right, you could never run out of wood.
But if you farm too much, the soil gets bad. And if the soil gets bad, that's less land we could use for the villagers.
to make metal.
To make metal, of course.
Right. Well, but I thought that they were going to be in the sky.
Well, they need to be birthed on the ground.
No further questions.
Okay, we have to think about there's a balance here, I think. Okay. And the national budget does not reflect the balance that we need in this country.
I think the national budget doesn't reflect building a giant floating structure in the sky filled with people whose job is to get surrounded by zombies in a minecart.
What the fuck are we going to do with all the wood anyway?
We're going to grow it.
What is wood useful for?
You
Other
can make
than
buildings
me
out of
every
wood.
morning at 8 a.m.
Up top. I guess not much. It's good for buildings. You said in a wooden world, or in a metal world, or
We
a
live in a
wooden
metal world.
And unfortunately, wood is not a very good conductor of electricity, which is why computers are not made of wood.
No, wood isn't a very sustainable material, or not sustainable. It's not
What?
a very. It's not a very. It has trouble withstanding the elements. So,
Sure,
shall
yeah.
we say? Okay, you can't
Yes.
you can't do plumbing with wood. Here's a
Nope.
list of things you cannot do with wood. Here we go. You can't do plumbing. You can't do computers.
Honestly, I think you can end it there. Those are the two most important things in modern society.
You can't do what's not a computer?
Planes. Think about planes and public transport.
No, but that's just a
That's
plane
metal.
is a computer. A plane is literally a computer.
Yeah, but they used to not be. Just say that.
Oh, that's true. But planes used to be when it's like the Wright brothers, because it was like paper.
That's true. And wood.
and by extension wood.
Boom.
So I think what we've discovered, it's kind of a complicated subject. We need to find a balance. There's no balance right now. We're obviously making too much metal. Maybe we need a little bit more wood.
Right, maybe we need a little bit more wood. We could use less metal in buildings and more wood in buildings, because while wood isn't innately fireproof or very long lasting, you can treat wood, and wood can therefore last for hundreds of years, just like metal does.
Right.
So maybe we use more wood in buildings, and building foundations can be made of wood. Building columns and beams can be made out of wood. And then we can save all the metal for the important things.
Of the 9/11 towers, if we made them out of wood, they wouldn't have collapsed under the weight of the planes.
That's right. They wouldn't have. Because the planes were made of metal.
Because wood is resistant to planes. It's in the rock, paper, scissors DLC.
Right. Wood beats plane. Plane beats Twin Towers. Twin Towers beats wood.
Right.
Right.
Except if the Twin Towers are made of wood. Then the whole thing gets fucked up. We got to reorganize.
Yeah, well, they weren't, though. So, and that's why they failed.
They weren't. So, yeah.
It definitely wasn't because buildings weren't designed to have planes drive into them. It wasn't that.
No. Because obviously they were.
They were, yeah.
That's the first thing anyone would think of if they were trying to harm a building.
This is probably just hindsight. It's probably just hindsight bias, but I cannot believe that we never thought ever that anyone would use a plane as like a weapon.
I just think no one ever thought that they would train someone to drive a plane and then destroy the plane.
But what about like all of World War II?
So
that happened like many, many, many years prior.
Yeah, but that's not the same though, right? Or I guess that did happen.
It's kind of the same.
That did happen. Huh.
Like, am I nuts? How did we not think about that one?
I mean, a little bit, because you think fucking hamburgers or whatever. It's in the past, but...
What's our next question,
Let's
Jamie?
move on to our next topic.
I feel like the tensions are getting a little high in here.
Tensions are getting a little high. The moderators, I can hear in the in-ear, they're getting a little mad at us. They want us to move
Mods, ban him.
Mods kick that
Reveal
guy.
his role.
The next question that the government needs to consider, and this has significant ramifications, okay, for the global economy as a whole. Are there more wheels or doors?
Oh, thank God. I was going to ask this earlier.
We have to know. Because if there's more wheels, well, then how are we going to enter spaces that are made for humans?
Right.
And if there are more doors, how could we ever hope to get around?
Right. So I don't think that it means
talking to your
we
microphone.
Can only have. I don't think it means we can only have. Thank you. I don't think it means that we can only have one or the other. It's just which is there more of.
We need to find out which.
If we decide that there's more wheels and then the door to my room disappears, I take it all back.
We can only. Okay? It's like an entity cramming thing. Like there can only be so many wheels and doors, right?
Right. Okay.
So we need to figure out which one we have more of, because we don't know how much we have more of.
Right. So I do. I know which one there's more of.
Okay. And that would be?
It's wheels. It's for sure wheels. It's
you think there's more wheels?
There's 100% more wheels than there are doors.
Okay. Have you thought about hotels?
Yes.
They have a lot of doors.
They do. Okay, you know what?
You think a hotel has more wheels than doors?
No, hotels do not have more wheels than doors. I'm sorry. I misspoke. I apologize.
What every public bathroom? That's a lot of doors right there.
Yeah.
Door to every stall.
What about the washers on the hinges of the doors? Are those not wheel-like in structure?
They are a cousin of the wheel. Okay, a distant relative, similar to how a frog used to be a shark or whatever.
Sure.
Right? So it's like...
Just like that. Think about how many cars there are in the world. Every car
4
has
doors.
4 wheels. 4 doors. Yeah, 4 doors. And I guess you could even get into the fact that they might have 5 doors as well.
Yeah. The only imbalance there is it's like trucks and limousines, I think, that have more wheels.
They have way more wheels than doors. Yeah.
I mean, the
Yeah, so think
truck
of like
makes
an 18-wheeler, man.
the truck makes it up a little bit because they have the back door to the truck
Right.
part of the truck to the trailer, I guess. 18 wheel. Why do they need 18 wheels?
Well, just to make up for the fact that there are way more wheels than doors.
No, you said that wrong.
There are way more wheels than doors.
No, I know. You should say that they're. Wait. I think I'm getting lost in the sauce.
They have 18
What's my
wheels.
opinion? What am I arguing?
You're arguing for doors.
Okay. I think hotels are really big.
They are. You're not. But I think that
there's a
I think
door,
there are a lot of 18-wheelers.
There's a
you ever thought about that?
door that opens your room to the hotel, and then there's a door to the bathroom in your hotel room.
Yeah, maybe if you're rich.
And what if the shower has a door?
It does have
Whoa.
one. Okay, well, think about what about like a sliding door? Sliding doors have beams in the top, and they run on little wheels.
No.
So therefore,
They levitate. They levitate.
They levitate?
They levitate. Because I wanted to say hoverboard, but I also wanted to say levitate.
They get in there and they Dua Lipa with the baby.
Yeah.
No, they don't. They are on a rail system with wheels.
I've never seen them.
So therefore, you should open up a sliding door. So therefore, for every sliding door that there is, which I will acknowledge there are way less sliding doors than there are regular doors, one might say. Sorry, I need to sit up in my chair. But, for every 2 sliding doors, each door has 2 wheels on the top, maybe 2 on the bottom, but we don't have to count that. So for every
news.
2 sliding doors, there are 4 wheels.
This is
involved.
just simply fake news.
Nope.
But I'm not going to refute your stupid nonsense bullshit, okay? I'll let the American public see through your lies.
Okay.
What I have to say, and this goes back to we live in a metal computer world, okay? What is a computer made out of? Answer it.
Wheels.
No. Where's the wheel
Doors?
in your computer?
I don't know. Doors?
Okay. There's so many doors. Have you
What?
ever thought about this? Hold
There's
on.
like
Hold
one.
on. Bear with me. Okay? In your computer has a CPU and a GPU made up of transistors. What is a transistor, you ask? And you would ask because you don't know. You're stupid. So I have to fucking explain it to you.
What's a transistor, Jackson?
A transistor is a door that allows electric current to flow through it, to be represented in the form of a 1 or a 0. Do you know how many transistors there are on your GPU right now? You don't. Let me tell you.
No.
Billions. There are billions of doors on your computer. They open and close all day. And you don't even know.
Uh-huh. Okay, so I feel like this is the same thing as when you said that the washer is a cousin of the wheel.
The washer isn't a wheel because it's a washer.
Right, but they don't call it. There's a billion doors in my CPU.
But
there's a billion
but it's
transistors.
A door. It's a door.
No.
Though. It's
Okay.
a door.
Fine. If a transistor is a door, then gears are wheels and washers are wheels, and anything that is like plates at on the weight rack at the gym, those are wheels.
That's not a wheel.
They're all wheels. No, they're all wheels.
You would never use that in a wheel fashion, though.
If anything, yes, I would. I'll have you know that
No,
I
you
often go to the
wouldn't.
gym and I put the plates on the bar and then I stick my arms out and I ride around the gym like I am some sort of vehicle.
No,
maybe
you
even a transformer
wouldn't.
of sorts.
No.
But I could.
Would
that's
you?
the thing.
Would you replace the tires on your car with the plates at the gym? Yes or no?
Yes. And
No,
it would
you
work.
wouldn't. No, you wouldn't.
Okay.
It would not work.
Fine, I take it back. I wouldn't do that, but yes, it would work. If
no,
the
that's
tire
like riding around with the
mounting-
rim. You're like scraping metal everywhere and shit.
But think about a spare tire. A spare tire looks exactly like a plate at a weight room. They're skinny.
No, it doesn't. It looks like a
They're
tire.
made of rubber. Whatever, man. It works, okay? If your argument that a transistor is a door is valid.
That's fine. I accept that. I still beat you out because I have billions of doors
Yeah, you do.
sitting next to me right now.
You do, and I looked it up, and there are far more doors, apparently.
So many doors. Americans,
Um,
you, by watching this, you're doing your research. And you just found out today that there are more doors, which is important. Obviously. I don't need to explain why it's important. You know already.
Yeah, I think there's some discourse between like obviously what counts as a wheel, but strictly like wheels or like a wagon wheel or a car wheel or a truck wheel.
Yeah, anything
So
that's
not
on a thing that moves is obviously
not
a wheel.
including like casters for like a rail system on like a door or something like that.
Yeah.
There are more wheels. Or sorry, there are more doors.
There are more doors, yeah.
Yes.
There are just so many doors. I mean, think about
There are a lot of doors.
Every Wii remote has a door to put the batteries
We're going to
in
move on to the next question.
Okay. Our
It's not a
next
door.
topic. I'm looking at my long list of which one I should choose because I put so many that we don't have time to go through all of them. So I'm trying to pick out the best one. One thing that I care about in this presidential election that the presidents should, but they don't.
No, they don't.
They don't. Up. We have to discover. Obviously, geopolitics right now. It's very complicated situation with China, with Taiwan, with Ukraine. Okay,
right.
But we're not talking about the real war that's going on that thousands of Americans died in yesterday. Okay, you won't find this anywhere in the media. Okay, innocent humans getting involved in a war that honestly has nothing to do with us. But as the world police, America, the United States, that's us, the world police, okay? We have to help sort this war out. 1 billion lions or all of the Pokemon. We have to figure out who is the allies and who is the Axis powers.
Do we have to pick opposite sides here? Because there's only one way I can go.
Oh, well, what's the one way you can go?
I will not argue under any circumstances that 1 billion lions could beat all the Pokemon.
Interesting. Because I can.
Okay. Now, before, you know what? Maybe I'll take back my statement, actually. I won't say that yet.
Uh-huh.
I've had people say that, hypothetically speaking, the Pokemon
Don't say hypothetically. This is a real war that killed thousands of Americans yesterday.
I know. I'm talking about in this. Do the Pokemon move the way that they do in the games, where they have to take turns before they use their moves, or is it like the anime where they can just go ape shit and they can use their moves like real animals?
We do
and,
have
like,
to
they can move around,
establish.
whatever.
We do have to establish the rules. Okay.
Like if this is a turn-based game with 1 million lions, I don't want to watch that war. It sounds boring.
1 billion lions with a B. That's important.
Oh, did I?
To know.
Okay, maybe I did say million.
Here's
billion
what,
lions.
if the Pokemon have moves, that means the lions also have moves. So if we're going, I don't care which one we pick, but if we're gonna pick the one where they both go with moves, we have to determine the stat sheet and the attacks that the lions have. You know what I'm saying? Like, do the lions have bite?
They definitely have bite.
Scratch,
fury swipes,
quick attack,
take down,
maybe?
quick attack. I think it depends. They would, they would learn.
I think I think the women lions are quick.
I think the female lions would learn quick attack, and the men would not.
I think they can also mega evolve. I think that's fair to say.
No.
Why not?
They don't do that.
What do you mean?
They're lions.
Well, just because you haven't spent enough time out in the African Sahara doesn't mean they don't mega evolve. I've been there, Henry.
Lion mega evolution.
I've seen the mega evolution with my own eyes. I was on the battlefront of the Pokemon Lions War that's going on right now that killed thousands of Americans yesterday, Henry. Right. And I saw a lion mega evolve and take down a Weedle. And I thought it was a little overkill.
See that. Because there are no Weedles.
What do you mean?
This is only all the Pokemon against, and also the war gets even harder every year because every year they add like 200. Well, maybe not every year. Every 3 years they add like another 200 Pokemon.
Bro, okay. First off, we could just eliminate like 75% of the Pokemon off the bat. 75% of them don't do it. Sunkern, bro. What's Sunkern doing?
Nothing. I will agree with that. 100%.
No, the lions eat Sunkern alive. That dumb bitch motherfucker.
One of every Pokemon, I think we're going to say 50% of the Pokemon are pretty much useless.
Yeah.
25% are minimally useful. 10% are like goated, and the last 15 are, like they're just fine.
There's a vast majority of Pokemon where the best thing they could do is like apply toxic, and then they just immediately die.
Yeah.
And that's only to one lion, of which, may I remind you, there's a billion with a B. It's a lot of Can you count to a billion? I don't think so.
How about this? What about Earthquake that hits all targets on the field? Huh? What about that? It would hit all 1 billion lions with one move.
The field is really big because there's a billion of them.
Right, but I don't think it matters. It says in the move description, it doesn't say hits both opponents, as in specified to a double battle. It says hits all opponents on the field.
Right.
Including the Pokemon, to be fair. Including the Pokemon. All steel types die immediately. For sure. Metagross, he lives.
I think you are naive to the fact that maybe a lion can live through one earthquake.
No.
Okay.
No, it can't. And you know what? Fine. Maybe it can live through one earthquake. One.
Yeah, that's all
but
they
what
get.
about like
No, that's all
5
the earthquakes they get.
Or 6?
They only get one earthquake.
There are like 50
that's
Pokemon that can
that's
use
not
earthquake.
Fair.
Okay.
Do you think Pikachu would feel good using more than one earthquake?
First of all, Pikachu can't use earthquake, so it doesn't matter.
But Pikachu would connect with the other Pokemon like he does in the anime. He'd be like, "Don't use earthquake. That's like sad and cruel." But he'd say it. He'd be like, "Pika Pika," like he does in the anime.
Pika. Yeah, he'd be just like that.
You know what I'm saying?
I do. Yeah.
Okay.
Damn.
So Pikachu is kind of like he's kind of like an anti-hero. He's sabotaging his own team
like
for the sake of love. He's not like, how is he like Venom at all?
You said anti-hero. Venom is an anti-hero. He's like Venom.
Venom is the un-Spider-Man of that universe.
Yeah, but he also kills villains. He just isn't he's not a villain, because sometimes
does
he
Venom
does
kill
good
villains?
Things. Yes.
I don't know. I've never seen
Venom fucks shit up, man. Anyway.
Wait, so is Venom is like a... Wait, so why does Spider-Man hate Venom?
Because Venom is a neutral party. He's an anti-hero. He doesn't like superheroes, but he also doesn't like supervillains. He just does whatever the fuck he wants.
That's like chill as fuck, dude.
Yeah, he's super cool.
Why does we need to... Okay, we gotta talk about this later. Venom needs to be presidentially pardoned.
Yeah. He's just such a chill viber,
But for the time being, okay.
Yeah, so it's still all the Pokemon.
I think no.
Okay.
I think the lions, okay, I think they get it done. I think even if one lion takes one attack and then they die immediately after.
Immediately.
I think they still get there because there's a billion of them.
If the lions form into like one giant super lion.
They mega evolve, perhaps.
No, they all like it would be like a the wishy-washy, wishy-washy, like the fish Pokemon. Yeah. It goes into like a bunch and then turns into a giant fish.
It becomes a school of fish that makes a big fish, like in Finding Nemo.
Right, but it would be like lions.
But it would be lions.
And they would breathe lions.
Well, I think they would breathe air, for sure.
Well, no, but I mean like instead of, I was going to say like breathe fire, but lions don't do that. So
well, when they mega evolve, they get the fire type, obviously.
Right. So
and
what
their
is
mane
the typing?
Catches on fire.
Are they like normal fire? Are they?
I think they're normal, but when they mega evolve, it's normal fire. When they're the wishy-washy of lions.
Okay. So I still think they lose.
I don't think so.
I don't know. I don't know how to bring this debate to a close, because I feel like if you think that it's a billion lions, we just can't talk about it. I
hate it. You know what I see? I see the discourse on Twitter every once in a while. It's always like, the Arceus just does like the god move and then everything dies or whatever. But that's stupid.
It is lame, but I think it's unfortunately
It's just a lame way to win, man.
It is, yeah, no, but that wasn't the question. It wasn't, will the Lions have an epic, awesome, super cool battle with the Pokemon? It was just who would win.
I guess what I'm proposing is that the United States government hires weapon sales lions. To the lions, and then with the weapons, with the WMDs that they didn't find in Iraq,
right?
We can finally destroy Pikachu because he's fucking annoying.
I do think that 1 billion armed lions could for sure defeat.
Does that
all
change
the
it if they
Pokemon.
have guns?
Yes.
I don't think Pikachu. I don't think he takes more than a bullet.
He takes one and he lives, and then he gets shot again.
Yeah, and then he's out. Good.
I don't know though. I mean, what about Pokemon that have like reflect and shit? You know.
But if you use it too many times in a row, then it starts
so that's
to
what
miss.
I'm saying. So is it anime rules then? Is it like where they only have like 20 PP per
Again,
move?
I don't think it matters. There's a billion of them, dude. And there's only like
guess that's
1,000 Pokemon. Just numbers. How many lions is that per Pokemon?
Like 100,000.
Yeah, that's. I mean, I think 100,000 lions, with or without guns, can definitely beat the weakest Pokemon. And 100,000 lions.
It's actually a million.
A million lions with or without guns can take down Arceus. I believe that in my heart of hearts, and I think Joe Biden does too.
Nope, no shot.
You don't think a million lions could beat
take
Arceus?
down Arceus? No.
You're smoking.
Do you think a
weed
million
and balls
human beings
and cock and crack and fent in a
Do
circle?
you think a million human beings could kill God?
Yes, that's every anime. But it's always it's always like
I would
3
say,
people that do it.
In every anime, it's like one guy, actually.
We
And
get
he is the
Edward
honored one.
Elric on the scene, bro. He fucks this shit up.
Well, yeah, but it's not the is the Edward Elric of lions there? Because if so, that changes.
I
my
think
mind
so.
drastically.
There's a billion of
Okay,
them.
All right. Well, then yeah, I guess they lose. The Pokemon lose hands down.
Anyway, this is just my proposal to Congress to sign the Give Every Lion a Gun Act 2024.
Yeah, why don't we take them away from the Americans? We're just killing each other. We might as well just give them to the lions.
The Gelag Act. Give every lion a gun. I need that signed pronto, Congress.
Right.
Marjorie Taylor Greene, we need your support.
She sucks so bad.
It's a bipartisan law that we need
Anyway.
for.
Yeah.
Moving on to our next topic. Okay. This is something that I think has come into contention quite recently because we used to live, Henry, if you look at the past presidents of our time.
Right.
Okay, what's one of the features that stands out to you about some of the past presidents?
They weren't like totally geriatric.
George Washington had wooden teeth.
Right.
Like that's kind of crazy, right?
Yeah, and also they're all like usually like middle-aged white men. So
Yeah.
I don't know. They all
had
chopped it.
an important hat.
Right.
Abraham Lincoln. Okay.
That's the only one I can think of.
Garfield, because he would disappear and go to Yellowstone. So I imagine he wore like
him.
a cowboy hat.
I
or
thought that was
something.
Roosevelt.
Roosevelt.
Yeah, Theodore
They're all the
Theodore
same.
Roosevelt does have no. Teddy Roosevelt, goated president, dude.
Okay.
He started the national park system.
JFK, if he wore a hat, we might
Maybe
still
he
have
would've
him
lived.
around. Okay. But now the tide has shifted. Okay. Now, what are presidents wearing? Shoes. When was the last time you saw a president wear a hat? Don't talk to me about the Trump hat. I don't want to talk about it. Which,
Okay.
Trump recently, he came out, I don't know if you saw, he came out with
Does he
a
have
golden
shoes?
pair of shoes.
Wow.
We live in a world where our presidents care about shoes now, quite frankly, okay? But it used to be a hat America, and now it's a shoe America.
Right.
And I'm sure you've been seeing all this stuff, all these sneakerheads. Where do you think they came from? Okay. Trump started wearing that shit. People were like, he got it on. I might have to start shopping at Nike. We have to determine what's more important going forward. Do we want our presidents to be hat presidents, or do we want our presidents to be shoe presidents?
Do I get to you decide first this time, because I have been very outspoken the last two questions.
I think the hat traditionalists the traditionalists,
Right.
I'm trying to come up with a good name. Can you help me here a little bit? The Mad Hatters.
The Mad Hatters.
That's like an esports team.
Yeah, it's fine.
The Mad Hatters, they're coming back in full force. They're saying we need to return to hats. I think this is false. I think the shoe is the way forward. Okay. Think about all of the important, powerful people that we have in today's society. Why are they powerful? It's because they have a shoe. Billie Eilish has a shoe. Okay.
She does?
She does.
Okay.
With Nike.
I knew that.
Yep. Michael Belmont Jordan.
I know that one.
Everyone knows that one.
Yeah.
Donald Trump. He has a shoe. Okay. Kanye West, famously. Big shoe brand. A $1.4 billion shoe brand before it lost all of its $1.4 billion.
Yeah, it's kind of tough.
Rapidly. Okay. Every important Travis Scott has a shoe brand. Every important person has a shoe brand. It's clearly the way of the future. The soul, pun very much intended, of our future rests in our feet. That's what I believe as an American.
That was so just putting it out there, that was a fire bar right there.
Yep.
So it's going to be
you.
kind of tough for me to compete with it. Yeah, no problem. I will say I was actually going to pick hat before you suggested shoe. So I'm glad that you put that out there.
And what a foolish choice, might I add.
I can see some pros and some cons to both sides, obviously. I mean, hats.
How would we get around today if not for shoes?
Right. I mean, if we had to wear hats on our feet, we would look ridiculous.
No,
I mean, could you imagine?
Stupid.
That'd be so dumb.
That'd be so fucking stupid.
But also I think that there's some there's some very good upsides to hats. I mean, you do your hair, your hair looks great. You don't want to ruin it. It's raining outside. Maybe you put a little hat on. Keep that safe, keep that locked in there. Your hair's getting in your face while you're at work. Throw a hat on. You want to go to a frat party, you just turn your hat like around and then all of a sudden they let you in. You baseball, an American staple.
An American staple.
As we've already established.
You grab a hot
dog.
dog.
What do they wear at American or at baseball? They
Some
wear
people,
hats. I mean,
they might call it
helmets,
a baseball hat even.
But they do call it a baseball hat. They don't have well, they do have baseball shoes. But they don't baseball shoes are not famous, And the thing about shoes, we've sort of already addressed this, is that shoes are expensive. Shoes cost a lot of money.
Yeah.
However, hats, while also still increasing in price, such as everything, which sucks, hats are generally much less expensive than shoes. Also, wear and tear. Think about it. I mean, you're going to have a good hat many, many, many years. I have hats in my closet that I've had since I was a wee lad.
Wow.
We're talking 10, 12 years old. And now I'm the ripe age of 46. I mean, that's a long time. Shoes, you get like 2, 3, maybe 4 years out of a good pair of shoes. And to buy a good pair of shoes, it's like minimum like $100.
It's true.
They're expensive. In these times where the economy is, getting up there and no one can afford anything, I think the hat is something that we really need to try and circle back to.
See, the hat is difficult. Hat's been with us in culture, in history.
Right.
For a very long time. Lots of famous people wore hats.
Yeah.
Abraham Lincoln.
Michael Jackson. Right. Him too.
Gerald Ford. Or the other one.
Henry Ford?
I don't know. One of them.
One of the Fords.
That other guy. There was the hat with the soda cans on it. Or beer cans. Soda cans if you weren't ready for that world yet. Some people aren't. I am. I was ready.
I think that hat is awesome, though.
There was a time in America where every child got a hat with 2 beer cans attached to it. But I think that time has passed. Shoes are just simply the way of the future. While more expensive, I think they provide you more value. Okay? I wear shoes much more often than I wear hats. In fact, I never wear a hat. I've never owned a hat. That's not, I lied. I have.
Yeah, wait a minute. wait a minute.
I've had that says Yellowstone. I don't know where it is though. But you know what I'll never not have? Shoes.
That is true.
Shoes are they're like really cool.
They are really cool.
I just got a new pair of Jordans the other day. This is kind of just what I wanted to talk about, really. I got a new pair of Jordans.
Fuck you, man.
They're so cool, dude.
I'm sure they are.
I think you would like them because they're blue. That's kind of your thing.
I would.
Yeah.
I have Jordans, and they are also blue, and they're cool.
That's crazy. Can you imagine if we have the same pair of Jordans?
There's no way.
There's no shot.
I have the fucking... I don't remember what specifically they're called. I think they're AJKOs.
But the KO has a shoe from Valorant?
No. Like Air Jordan KO. I don't remember what the KO stands for, but they're made out of like sustainable fabrics and shit. I bought them on Black Friday.
Yeah,
cool. They're made
you
out of
bought
like
wood
fabric
shoes instead of metal shoes.
No,
like a
they're
fucking
made
idiot.
out of fabric. You're the worst, man. I hate you.
Look, metal shoes, okay.
Think about steel-toed boots. Why do we only use it on the toes?
Think about every Urbex explorer, the coolest people you know. Okay?
That is true.
They're going around to abandoned factories. They're breathing in asbestos. And otherwise, without steel shoes, they would get nails in their foot, and it would be bad for them.
Yeah.
So you have to think about that.
Yeah, why don't we really limit the steel?
What would a hat do in that situation for you? It would do nothing.
Protect your head from nails.
Simply from the falling nails.
If it was a metal hat.
Obviously. Nails, obviously, everyone knows this. Nails do not fall. So there's no reason to protect your head from nails.
Well, maybe a metal hat would have protected JFK, okay?
That is the one thing. I don't think a shoe could have saved JFK.
Let's bring back hats, but let's make them better. Let's make them out of metal.
Okay.
I don't want a steel-toed boot. I want a steel-brimmed Yankee.
Yeah. And we can put wheels in the hats.
Yeah.
Because we already have wheels in the shoes. Oh, so we should put doors in the hats.
We should put doors in the hats.
Hold on. Wait. We live in a
society.
Hot dog hat wheel world.
Sure, man.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know where I was going with this one. I just think shoes are cool. Do you have any closing thoughts on that one?
On hats or shoes?
Yeah.
No, I think I got what I needed to say.
Okay. Let's move on.
I enjoy shoes, so I can't really argue way too much against them.
Let's move on to our next topic, which is also very important. And an important decision you have to make, not only in the real world, but also in Animal Crossing. Early bird or night owl. Okay. In Animal Crossing, you have to decide whether or not you want your town to be an early bird town, meaning the stores they open a lot earlier, the villagers are up a lot earlier, so you can get more stuff done in the morning, or if they stay open later. Okay, we as a society, and we've talked about this previously on the podcast, there are too many professions that are divided between day shift and night shift. Okay, we need to simplify. We need to bring everyone together.
I do agree with this.
And we need to decide whether or not that should be in the morning or in the night. Your opening statements.
Oh, great. Thank God. I think the thing should be open later. It's crazy. I feel like getting out of bed in the morning, and maybe this will change with time, because I will say, getting up early, I do always feel like productive when I get up early and I get a head start on the day.
Of course.
But then I have less
benefits.
time, towards the end of the day to sort of do, the things that I like. When I get back from work, I have more times to, call my friends, call my family, go to the store if I have to, do my laundry, maybe even work a shift at my other job, make some more money, Having a little bit more of that nighttime versatility is nice, because that I feel like is the free time that I have now. So that's why I'm sort of in favor of moving things to be later. If we move things to be earlier, then I guess we would also get the reverse of having that free time in the morning, which would maybe be just as cool. Maybe it wouldn't. I don't know. I think I would rather have things be open later than open earlier. I feel like most of the time I would rather sleep more in the morning than at night.
Here's what I would say to that. I think the nighttime, obviously an attraction to the youth around the globe. Okay.
Right.
They love being up at night. They want to see what the nightlife is all about.
Right. They even have a term for it.
And I'll admit,
What the hell is day life?
Exactly. Work? Yeah. Gross.
Patooey.
Disgusting. You know Hawk-tua on that.
That's
I
what I'm
say.
saying.
Okay. But the thing about the night is that it's dangerous. Okay. We need to protect our children, protect our public, the general public, from the dangers of the night. Many things come out at night that people should be in their homes and sleeping soundly for.
Right. Like guns.
Like guns. Crime, bigger in the night. Crime is much bigger in the night. Crime is ginormous in the night. May I just add?
Well, so hear me
You know
out,
what else
though. So
comes
about-
out at night? Bats.
Bats are chill as hell.
And mosquitoes.
Okay.
Bats
you
are
got me
not
there.
chill as hell. They make people into vampires. And then they have to move to Transylvania.
Nah, vampires
Never
are
to be
chill as
seen
hell.
again.
You ever seen Vampire Diaries? Holy crap, dude.
I
They're all
haven't.
so hot. I would love to be a vampire. If that's
And they
what
all
it
come
does
out
to
at
you.
night. That's dangerous. What if all of these hot people that are out at night, they take over our youth, they exploit them for their crime that they probably they start statistically partake in the night, because all crime happens in the night, as we know.
All crime happens at night. Yeah, that's true. Nothing good
Obviously.
happens after midnight. They say that.
You know what else happens in the night? Alcohol, drugs,
Oh, yeah, baby.
vandalism, trespassing,
Vampires.
vampires, the FBI. They go out at the night.
They happen at night.
And they do stuff, and it's, I don't know anything about it.
Right.
Yeah, I wouldn't. Simply,
No, you wouldn't.
I'm not a
Neither
part of
would I.
that. No,
Yeah, no.
of course not.
We wouldn't.
The point being, there are simply too many dangers at night to let people. We need to stay. We need to stay at home during the night, and we need to up people up early in the morning so they can contribute to the workforce. So many of these Gen Zers, as I'll call them, I don't believe that's what they're called. I think they're called something else. I don't know what it is. Okay. So many of these Gen Zers, they're out.
Right.
They're sleeping in. They're staying up late. They're getting involved in all this crime. They sleep in. They're late for work. You know what late for work translates to my mind, in my mind?
Ketamine
Translates
usage.
into ketamine usage, but also a loss of GDP. If we're going to continue to thrive as the richest country in the world, if we want to secure that spot, we cannot be losing GDP because of our youth's unfortunate decisions.
Sure, but don't you think being in your youth is your time to enjoy life, and therefore you can enjoy it a little bit more if you have more time at night? And also, maybe an increase in crime and vandalism and drug usage is just a result of the stressful days that people have at work. And when they come back and the minimal free time they don't have time to do everything that they want. They're stressed, they're overworked, they're tired. They look to other solutions to sort of mitigate the fact that they're miserable. And so some people end up turning to drugs and crime and vandalism and other negative acts. So maybe if we gave people more free time and sort of adjusted to be more of a extended nighttime society, then it would be safer. As well, if it was more normalized, maybe more people would be out at night walking their dog. Less people would be out committing crimes because they're less stressed. And it would be more of a normal thing to be out at night. The reason that it's so scary now is because it's not normalized. And so people who go out at night, they're insane. But if we give that time back to the people and they use it for things that they love, then maybe the world will be a better place.
I think you make a good point, but I'm about to make another one, so don't hold your breath. Work is good always, and the youth is the only populace that has energy to be doing the work that we need done. Okay? The youth should not be playing in sandboxes, going down plastic slides,
They
doing
should be going down
ketamine.
slides in the mines.
They should be in the mines. They should be in the offices. They should be in the delis of the world. They should be chopping meat and putting those cows on those hooks in the big fridge.
I couldn't agree.
We need the kids to save this country from a recession, which is on the way, by the way. Economists don't want to say it is, but it is. Okay, housing market's gotta crash. It has to. Unironically,
I hope it does.
I'm breaking character for a minute to say that the housing market will crash. That is the only way that we get out of the situation that we're in now.
Yeah, it will. I almost hope it
Unless
does,
the Fed figures it out, but they won't.
No, they won't. They never do. They don't know
Okay,
how to
but
do shit.
we need the kids
back
to be working. Time in. We're in now. We need the kids to be working to produce that GDP that the U.S. so relies on for many things like retirement.
Yes, we do.
And for me to do drugs because I don't abide by my own beliefs.
Right. Well, you're a politician. You don't have to. That's like the whole point of the job.
Of course.
That's one of the benefits. You get paid a shit ton of money, and then also you don't have to abide by the laws because, you make them up.
That's right. When the Supreme Court decided that I needed to be put in jail, I simply said, I am a politician. And they said, I'm so sorry, sir.
They were like, oh, of course.
Of course.
My apologies. Go right ahead.
The $8,000 I sent to Justice Clarence Thomas also helped a little bit, but
hey,
that's neither here nor there.
Hey, I do the same thing. It's okay. I pay him actually. I think it might even be weekly at this point. I got to stop committing crimes.
Yeah. I mean, it's tough as
fun though.
If we could just complain a little bit to the American people. Not committing crimes is so hard when you're a famous and rich individual who has influence.
I know.
Because
I just want to be the worst person I could possibly be.
And it's like we understand you have like crime and like not money that you have to deal with, but cocaine is really good.
It is, dude. It's so good.
It's really good, dude.
It's good, and I want to do it all the time. And then I want to do it, and I want to give a speech afterwards also.
The effects of cocaine are made even better when you trade stocks all day.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And we grew up, we came from the same place, okay? We were working on Wall Street back in the day, back in 86.
Right, this is true.
And we were on the trading floor, as they call it. They rang the bell not 10 minutes before we hit our first line. I said lion. We hit our first line.
Yeah, you're still in that mindset.
Off of a dollar bill, okay?
Right.
And we sat there. We traded NVIDIA back and forth to each other all day. We didn't know what we were doing.
We made a lot of money, though.
We made a lot of money. Let me tell you.
That was such a good day.
It was such a good day. I made $10,000 that day.
Oh, I made $15,000.
Which was, this is our coming up story. We didn't have a lot, except for, here's the only things Henry and I had growing up, okay? We had privilege.
Right.
We had $400,000 worth of stocks.
Right.
We had...
From our parents.
We had connections to government officials.
Yeah, see, people are like, oh.
Bodies.
Yep. LinkedIn, huh? How about that? Isn't that so great? Yeah.
Exactly.
We just have to actually network, pal.
All you need to succeed in life are those things. And it's really a shame if you haven't accomplished what we have.
Yeah. I mean, like, just get $400,000 from your parents.
Obviously.
Straight up, it's not even that hard. Just ask them. They'll give it to you.
If you go to the bank and ask for a loan, they'll give you one.
Yeah, it's true. You don't even need to tell them your social security number or your credit score.
No.
They'll just give it to you.
It's like a free trial kind of thing.
Yeah.
And if you're a student, you get a discount.
Yeah,
if you link your .edu email.
When we were students, 5 years ago, that happened to us.
Yeah. When we were studying, obviously, and this is how we know so much about these kind of political conversations that we're having here, this debate. What the fuck was that?
I don't know. I'm not going to address it. It was very loud, though. I hope one of my roommates didn't just pass out. Not that I have roommates, because I'm a politician and I'm super rich and I live alone.
Right.
With my wife.
I live with roommates. I live with homeless people, which are homed now. So they've been homed actually. So they're just people. Now that I'm thinking about it,
They're just less people. No home.
They're
needed.
lesser than me, obviously, because they
Yeah,
they
you're
were
a
homeless
politician.
before, but now I'm homing them.
Right.
I'm homieing them. Some would say.
You're homing in on them. You're getting closer every day.
This is neither here. What were we talking about before? What was the debate?
We were talking about how we're politicians and how we're great.
We're great.
We talked about fuck, dude. What were we talking about?
What were we talking about? I don't know. American people, you can figure that one out. We don't got that kind of time.
No,
we gotta
we
keep
have
moving
important shit
on.
to
We're
do.
doing so many things,
We have important shit to do, like drugs.
like drugs, cocaine, and I've got my hands tied with that
It takes up a lot of
teenage boy blood ring.
time. Oh yeah, dude. I got one of those too. Oh
Yeah.
my god.
I mean, it's a handful. Let me tell
Hey,
you.
the younger they get, the harder they are to manage. You know.
When my COO of the blood boy ring that I run,
Right.
he called me the other day. He said, "We're running out of boys." I said,
Really?
"How could that be?" Okay, there's so many boys in America, and
Yeah, I know.
I obviously need my blood,
Well, and like we still send them to the draft too.
obviously, and there's still
People
the
know
draft.
that that's where they go, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Like we disclosed that in the cool.
In the
I just wanted
draft,
to make sure.
yeah.
Yeah.
People, I think, and some people, this might be a liberal left thing. I'm not really sure. Some people think they're going to war when they sign up for the draft. Obviously, that's not
I mean,
the case.
they
If you
sort
read-
of are.
If you
Honestly.
read the documentation, obviously, you would see that we're using them to harvest their blood to make our skin look younger.
Yeah.
Because Scientology is the right religion, obviously, and we know this.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's why they made it.
yeah, that's
Duh.
obviously the lizard people. They're real.
Dude, shout out to Mark. He really made
Can we
it
just?
popular.
I
again.
feel like there's a lot of things the American public doesn't know. Maybe we should just spill that all out. Being politicians such as we,
Sure. Yeah. So aliens are real. Like
aliens are
100%.
real. Ghosts are too.
Ghosts are also real. They're actually a member of Congress. I think is an alien. Cool
Yeah.
guy.
Bernie
Well, I
Sanders.
guess they don't really have genders, but cool thing. Cool alien, man.
Cool thing that happens around. You know.
Yeah, I don't know if it is Bernie. It's someone. They're pretty cool though.
Yeah. Occasionally rocks fall from the sky. And people think it's just like a weird little kind of thing, but it's actually the foreshadowing of the giant meteor that will kill us all.
Yeah, no. But that won't happen for another like 20, 30 years.
Yeah.
So we've got
it's
time.
not really a big deal. I mean, you don't really
That's why
have
we
to
don't
worry
care
about that
That's
one.
why we don't care about global warming cuz
No. But
we're
obviously
not going
we
to do
have
anything anyway.
we have to preserve the metal that we use.
Right, so we can make more computers
So we need more computers.
and
Well,
wheels.
the ghosts keep talking about it. The ghosts
They
are
do, and
pressuring us, all the ghosts that the people don't know about.
Well, and the ghosts know what's going to happen too cuz they've died. They can see the
Yeah,
past.
they
want
to take the computers back
and the
to
future.
Saturn,
Yeah, which is
where
like,
all the
not cool.
ghosts live.
Yeah.
Because it's a ghost planet, obviously.
Right.
So that's
Well,
where all
people
the
think it's
ghosts
made
are
of
from.
gas, but they'd be wrong. It's made out of ghosts.
No, it's made out of ghosts.
The rings around Saturn
It's
are the
like
only
the
thing made of
wishy-washy
matter.
of planets in a
Yeah,
way.
it's just made of a bunch of ghosts. It's like
There's-
one big mega evolved lion.
It's like 1 quadrillion ghosts, basically, is Saturn.
Yeah, it's a lot.
And
yeah,
people
to
think the
take in.
rings are rocks, too.
Yeah, which is weird because they're not.
Obviously, it's cocaine.
Yeah.
Where do you think we get all of our cocaine from?
Which, I mean, if hardened and dense and made to be dense enough, it could maybe be a rock. So I guess that is a fair
Yeah.
assumption to make.
Anything can be a black hole if you squish it enough.
Yeah.
Basically. So even the ghosts. Ghosts,
and-
actually, and maybe we should, because I'm sure some people are in shock over the fact that ghosts are real. We should clear up something. Ghosts, they can't go through walls. I know all the kids' stories say that they can't.
No,
they
that's why
can't.
your doors sometimes just kind of like swing open and,
Yeah. That's why, obviously, too many doors.
Right. That's
We need
why.
more wheels. The doors
do.
are a big thing for ghosts because they have trouble turning like the knobs on the doors.
Mhm.
So
Well,
we
stuff for them
need-
to interact with the living world,
Yeah. I mean, people don't really talk about this. Being a ghost is really hard.
Yeah.
And it's actually harder for us because we have to kind of shelter them from the
Right.
burden of being exposed to modern life.
They
But we've
all
been-
live in the White House.
We've been working with the ghost government recently, and we're working towards a path of integration.
Yeah. Well, and we'll start sending like people to Saturn so that they can sort of check it out, see what it's like.
Yeah, Elon Musk
Um,
is going to send the first person to Saturn. He's been talking about Mars, but we're diverting to Saturn for now.
Yeah.
Obviously, the aliens we've been in contact with for a long time on Mars, so we're not super concerned about all them. They kind of got their own thing going on.
Yeah, I don't know why people think that we haven't explored that much of space. We just like don't really tell the general populace a lot of information, you know?
Yeah, it turns out there's actually a lot of like nothing out there.
Yeah.
It's, like,
Loads and loads
honestly
of
not that
air.
interesting.
Well, no air. Loads of nothing, I guess.
Lot
Lots of
of-
planets, though.
A lot of like gases. We found a bunch of elements that science doesn't know about yet.
Right. One of them cures cancer, but we keep that up in space because
Yeah.
the medical field needs that. for
There's
business.
metal 2, which makes
We
us,
can't.
if we get a hold of metal 2, we need so metal 2, it's kind of rare. It's hard to get in a solid form, but we've seen that if you can get it in a solid form, you can make computers too, which we think is going to be big for Grok particularly.
Right. And the Apple MacBook Air.
Yeah, I mean that's
It might
kinda
even
what
not
I
have a
would call.
notch the next time that they make one. If we can make computer 2.
We need computer, but we need metal 2 to do that.
Yeah, which, we're going to have one, computer 2, which is
Yeah.
going to be a MacBook Air. It'll probably cost somewhere north of like $7 trillion.
Metal 2
So-
also well, we probably shouldn't get into all of the obviously
I'd probably keep that
we,
on the
we
DL.
signed those
We've said
NDAs
a little too much.
about so we
We're going to die. We're going to get killed as we walk out of our houses next time anyway. So the ghost government is
one
gonna
of the
take us
blood
down.
boys was going to take us down at some point.
Yeah, I guess
That
that's true.
always happens.
We shouldn't have run that
What do you
ring.
think shot JFK?
The ghost government.
The ghost government and the blood boys together, they rose up because there was that little blood boy revolution back in the 70s.
Oh, yeah. No, one happens every like 25 years.
Yeah. It's really not a big deal though. We've kind of corralled them. We've overhauled the draft in a major way.
We have, yeah.
Um,
Women can now be drafted. There are blood girls now.
Yeah. It turns out blood from girls is actually it's kind of like dairy. If you have too much of it, your skin starts to break out. So it's mainly boys. If we take women blood, you kind of have to mix it with boy blood a little bit before you put it in your skin so that it kind of homogenizes.
I don't know if I knew that. I feel like I've just been using boy blood.
Most people just use boy blood, but sometimes if you're kind of like if you're not a very high up politician, you
Yeah,
only
can
have
only get
access
the
to the
girl blood.
women blood. Yeah,
Yeah, fair.
which is unfortunate. We should improve access to boy blood.
Hey, man, my roommate's been donating a lot of blood recently, so he's really helping the cause.
Yeah, I mean, he's a noble guy for sure.
Yeah. He's just broke, but yeah.
Do they pay you for that?
Oh, yeah, big time.
Really?
You get paid like $100 every time you go and donate plasma.
What?
Depends on where you go, but yeah.
That's crazy.
Well,
should
we
donate
wouldn't
blood.
need that
Well, I guess
because we're rich.
yeah, right.
I have a ring. I'll just donate their blood.
You have a ring? Oh, you have the ring of power. I forgot about that.
No. I have a ring. Like my blood boy ring.
Oh, your blood boy ring. But you
Yeah.
also have the ring of power.
Shh.
From
Keep
the
that on the
from the
DL.
goblin man.
Yeah. Gollum.
Is his name.
I'm pretty sure, right?
And he's here to say.
Isn't there another one though? Smeagol? Are they the same? I don't really know the
Smeargle.
Hobbit that well. No, it's a Pokemon.
He died to the lions. I forgot.
His ass would get fried.
Oh,
It would be
man.
immediate. On site, they see Smeargle, he's gone.
You think
He
so?
might as well have not even showed up. Yes.
I think Smeargle kills one lion.
Okay. Maybe he does. His abilities are cool. I thought you were gonna maybe fight me a little bit more on that.
And these are just some of the things that the American public needs to think a little bit more about. That's what this whole debate is about. That's why we're here.
I mean, I just think that, a lot of media doesn't really address the concerns that really affect the American people. They're just a little bit out of touch with what day-to-day life is really like. And that's why we're here.
Of course. We need you now, the American people. You see, politics is a two-step thing, okay? We have to do the hard work of injecting boy blood into our faces.
And looking youthful forever and having lots of money and committing crimes during the nighttime.
We have to do cocaine and talk to ghosts.
Have to vote for us.
And you have to go out and vote this year for what matters most. Is it hats? Is it hamburgers? Is it metal? Is it the Pokemon? You have to decide what matters most to America today. And you got to go out and vote. Vote for me. Or Joe Biden. Thank you.